It had to happen, and we're going to talk about it. I was wrong about a bunch of stuff this year, too, and can kind of finally talk about that a little bit following the Kentucky game. It's a brand new Village Vice. He's Zach Blackerby. I'm Brad Law, and Auburn has an interim head coach, and they're looking to move forward. And there you go, Zach. A lot of talk, a lot of conversation over the last 24 to 48 hours. Yesterday, it felt like it was a matter of a when and not if. And we'll get into it all. I thought the Kentucky game Saturday just left no doubt. Like the most positive, the most hopeful Auburn fan could point to something in every other loss and say, all right, that's out of the ordinary. The officials' calls, the probabilities, the kicker never misses, and he missed. And the Kentucky game had none of that at all. It was bad. And you could tell everybody in the place knew at that point.
Yeah. And like you said, it was only a matter of time. You can't have an offense like that in 2025 and be an offensive-minded head football coach and do this with all the firepower that everybody agrees, or it's not the roster, it's the coaching. And it was bad. It was very, very bad. You can't figure out how to use receivers. You can't have good quarterback play. It's finally over. It's finally over.
Yeah, and I thought, Zach, it like those two things are products too of the offensive line had its worst game of the year. Kentucky's defensive line pushed the O-line around. They couldn't figure it out or adjust to it or win matchups or whatever. And buddy, Tom Brady wouldn't have had a solid game with that offensive line.
Well, Tom Brady would have, but yeah, almost any quarterback would not have. Maybe Tom Brady could have done it. Maybe Drake May could have done it. But yeah, the list may stop. The list may stop there for sure. Yeah, and like I don't think Ashton Daniels was like inherently awful, but it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. This was about This was about the coaching. This was not about the individual players because they weren't put into situations to succeed. Like, name somebody who plays on the offensive side of the ball since Hugh Freeze has been here that was properly put into a situation to succeed outside of KLS.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to find that.
And you can think of the good ones where it's like, well, Jarquez Hunter's been good, but he underachieved probably because of usage.
Well, a lot of the talk last year, was why is he not getting more carries? That was a big part of the conversation. And I don't know, Zach. I think it's easy in hindsight, and it's easy because it fits the narrative to go and say 2.5 years, 3 years, nothing good. But I think we all understood the situation he inherited was a big problem. It was a big problem. And like in 22, you're getting run out of your own building by Penn State, Arkansas. Georgia over there was never close. Like you had a roster that wasn't nearly as competitive as this one. I don't think you need to say for 3 years it was bad or this, that, or the other. I think all you have to point to is this year that, all right, roster's built up. This is the year the conversation changes, but the results didn't change.
Yeah, the loss Saturday, I think, was the worst Auburn loss of any sport in my lifetime.
Okay. I mean, I think there's some recency bias there, but I'm not going to argue it. Like it's
possibly, but like context matters. Like,
yeah,
in a vacuum, New Mexico State loss is worse, but it was, future, the roster stinks, whatever. It's like you still shouldn't ever lose, but you shouldn't ever lose to Kentucky at home either. Right. Year 3, and you score 3 points. I mean, I think it was off. I think the context makes that one worse.
That's fair.
But sure, recency bias probably has to play some of it. So
it reminded me.
I wanted him gone Saturday night. Like I wanted let him wear it at the presser. John Cohen, make your move. I'm glad he did it, 12, 14 hours later, which is great.
Yeah.
But this, if you hadn't have done it, I mean, Auburn has become a joke, the butt of a joke throughout the SEC football world, the college football world. And like, we got to be done with that. Like if every second you kept him, that joke kept getting funnier and funnier to everyone else.
Yeah.
At our expense. So I'm glad that he did it. I'm glad that he did it.
Had to be done. I don't think he had another option. Like Gene Chizik in 2012 went winless in SEC play 2 years after winning a national championship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that and that roster the next year with Gus, with many of the same players, obviously it was a different quarterback and that makes a big difference. But, a lot of the bones of that roster competed for a national title the very next year. You just can't go winless in the league. There's some things you cannot do regardless of anything else. And again, the Kentucky game felt different. It was different from the other games.
Yeah, at least the Chizik one, there was the debate on. I was younger then, but I was like, he won a natty 2 years prior. Like, can you do that? Right. At least there was that discussion. But this one, I think everybody, there's been very few people who are like, well, he just needs more time. There's a few. And I'm like against firing coaches.
Yep.
Like, I don't think your program doesn't get better when you fire coaches like most of the time.
Right.
But this one made a ton of sense.
Yeah, but to make that comparison, there are just some things you can't do. You can't go winless in the league, regardless of whether or not you won a title 2 years ago. You can't go. You can make the argument you can't go 1-5 back-to-back seasons in conference play to start league play, no matter how close, no matter how good the roster.
We're so close.
Yeah, you can't. You just can't. It's like to coach at Auburn, you have to drive a Porsche 90 miles an hour on the Autobahn. If you can't, regardless of anything else, then somebody else has to take a turn at the wheel. And look,
would you get on the Autobahn if you could?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. 100%.
That's something that would excite you. It's just driving on the Autobahn.
Would love it. Limit. Absolutely. Would love it.
All gas, no brakes. Brad Law.
Yeah. Let's give it a run. I came on last week and said that the officiating in the games in Oklahoma and Georgia, and you got to take into consideration the Missouri game and the fact that Alex never misses kicks and he missed kicks. You have to at least factor it in. Now, that wasn't to say that doesn't mean that poor offensive performances shouldn't be factored in. It was just to say you got to think about it. Again, Kentucky offered none of that. It offered none of it.
Yeah, that was a joke. It was an absolute joke.
We said Ashton was he was fine against Arkansas, but he was conservative because you had the lead and you had your defense and you had your kicker. And now let's see what it looks like with a whole week to prepare a brand new game plan. Wasn't there. Just wasn't there. From the beginning, it wasn't there.
A lot of curls. A lot of comebacks.
Well, that's all you had time for. But, yeah, nothing else that you – I saw a stat that I think Tennessee was 7 of 7 on passes 20 yards down the field against Kentucky's defense. You couldn't get one of them off down the field.
I mean, you could have.
You think you had time to? I don't know that anybody had time to.
I mean, if you're just attacking deep, like, you just get it and throw it.
No, that's fair too.
And that's where some of it was like, that would be especially at the end of the game.
Yep.
When it's like nothing else is working, just throw it up.
Yeah.
Just go get it, Cam. Let's see what happens.
Get a flag.
Better than what anything else has been so far.
Yeah. Yeah. It was uninspired. It left, and again, kind of the central point is it left no room for those who wanted to give the benefit of the doubt for the sake of for the sake of stability and not changing. They were left without that Saturday. Took it away.
Right. Yeah. I think, and I think another thing of it is like, it was all so passive. There was no like hunger or desperation.
Yep.
At the end where like, I'm going to just try something just to like, maybe it'll work. It was, you know what? I'm kind of okay that this is happening. That's what it felt like watching it.
Yeah.
And then to him to, when he was asked about the fans chanting to fire him and he's talking about like, well, I'd love to ask for patience, but you don't get that in this day and age. And I'm like, what do you, excuse me?
Yeah. I didn't love that. Didn't love that.
Like, this is a man who does not care if he's still here. That's really what it felt like to me. that may not be true, but it's what it felt like, Brad.
Yeah,
that was wild.
It would have been a lot wiser to acknowledge the patience that had already been shown. Patience looks different today, and rightfully so, than it did 10 or 20 or 30 years ago. Patience looks different today. It is patient. Yeah. The Auburn fan base has been incredibly patient and supportive. And he mentioned that in his farewell statement. They've been supportive and loyal and passionate and but yeah, they have also been. They were also patient for sure. So Eugene Asante, to the point of passivity. Former Auburn linebacker made a statement on X, and I want to read a part of it after you tell everybody about Roback, please.
Yeah, use promo code BARN20 for 20% off your order at roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use promo code BARN20 for 20% off your order. Brad, how much Roback have you worn lately?
Fair amount. Yeah, fair amount of Roback. Went running yesterday in it and wear it. Basically, it's my go-to when I get home.
I'm Brad. I run a long way.
I have 3.
I run really far, really fast.
All right.
I wear my Roback when I run.
Barn
really 20 for 20% off your order.
Yeah, Barn 20. I have 3 Roback hoodies. I just kind of rotate them all when I get home because it's the most.
And I just run so much. Because I'm Brad Law, and I'm a better human than all of you. That's what Brad Law says. I'm done.
You sure?
Yeah.
The number of people who came up to me Saturday and just randomly referenced the number of hearts that octopuses have, I don't know what to make of it. I don't know whether to be proud or full of shame.
I think you should be proud. What's crazy is what if I had gone up to you before the game and I asked, all right, what number is larger? The amount of hearts an octopus has, or how many points Auburn will score against Kentucky?
Yeah, because you're talking to the guy who said they'd get 38 last week or something.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
Stupid like that.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
38. What a moron. Like, no, but I'm the same guy who also said it was going to be like, get your digs in August, because after that, it's not going to be a lot of fun for opposing fans.
People keep coming back to that for sure.
They sure do. And they should, because I was wrong on that. I was wrong. They have had a lot of fun watching Auburn.
And the digs are still coming. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the fun part of college sports. And like, if we can't dish it out, or if we can't take it, then we shouldn't dish it out. And they should.
Speaking of digs, Stephon Diggs scored a touchdown for the Patriots yesterday. They've won 6 straight.
That's good for you. I'm proud. Well, how many did you beat the Falcons by like 20, right? Didn't you beat them by 20 or 30?
Beat them 1 point.
Oh.
They missed a point after.
Oh, because of their mistake, they missed it?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't matter. A win's a win, right?
Correct.
So Eugene Asante goes on social media, one of the leaders of the team last year. And he starts his comment by saying, I don't rejoice over the dismissal of Coach Freeze. That's cowardly. Real man reflects inward, says, did I do everything in my power for Auburn University? I like that Eugene is still sort of, he's invested in Auburn, and he's talking about the program. He says, ultimately, I know the head coach is held responsible for what happens to the program. I have no place in that fight, talking from as a former player. But he goes on and basically to challenge the players and say, look, when the coach is gone, the players are still out there playing. And he's sort of calling out a passive attitude from guys on one side of the ball. Now, look, he played on defense last year. He played under DJ Durkin. He's kind of, and if you watch practice and if you watch games, there appears to be a different approach and a different mentality for offensive guys versus defensive guys. Now, you win and lose as a team, but I thought it was worth maybe talking about that one of last year's defensive leaders is challenging the guys to go, look, you got 3 games left.
Right.
Where's your hunger? Where's your fire? Where's your passion? That's what you need over these last 3 games.
Yeah, and so I mean, I've talked to Eugene over the last few weeks. And you know, there was that clip that went kind of viral, and people have I think Auburn may have done something with the quote of Hugh Freeze talking about, you know, if my form of leadership is to pave the way for the people behind me, like, let it be.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're him, like, I don't know how you don't feel shafted by that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you kind of sacrifice your eligibility for this program because you believe in this trajectory and this path that this program is on because of your coach.
Yeah.
And the path wasn't to where he was told that it was going.
Yeah.
Where he thought it was going. Yeah. So, I mean, I'd be pretty upset.
I think what it shows, though, is that vision isn't cast by one man, nor is it shattered by one man.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, you build relationships with position coaches and coordinators and head coaches, but also with GAs and player personnel people. And, you know, if you read the recruiting stories from the weekend from the various outlets, you hear people saying things to the effect of, it doesn't really impact. Like, I hate to see him go, but still big on Auburn. Like, Auburn isn't ever tied to the identity of one person. Auburn's bigger than the person who sits in the head coach's seat. Now, that's the person who casts the vision. That's the person who sets the tone for the culture. But just because there's a change in the head coach's chair doesn't mean necessarily that everything that doesn't mean things come crashing down as a result of his leaving. In fact, I think there's a big opportunity to move forward and advance now in this spot.
Yeah. And we're recording this before they talk to the media this afternoon, but super curious about a few things. One, how much info John Cohen gives about the search and what that process will be like.
Mm-hmm.
We'll then argue if the process actually matters or not, but that's a different conversation for a different day. And then, who's calling the plays?
Yeah.
That'll be brought up. I assume it'll be Derek Nix. I think Ken Austin has called plays before. Will there be any changes to the offensive staff mid-season?
Does DJ Durkin have the autonomy to make change? We saw Bobby Petrino at Arkansas. He fired everybody on defense when he was named interim head coach.
Yeah.
We haven't seen anything like that yet, but I mean, we're also
I feel like that would have come out by now, but we'll see. We'll see exactly what happens over the next few hours.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. Certainly a lot of the players, especially the defensive ones, have, be it on social media or otherwise, shown a pretty good bit of excitement over DJ Durkin being the interim coach. He's who they know. He's with them. They're with him every day at practice. And so how much difference does that make, Zach? Do your feelings on the last 3 games of the season change at all now that there's been a change at the head coach's spot?
Possibly, because one of the big things that we've heard about Freeze negatively on the offense, and this is from just former quarterbacks who've been fairly public about it.
Yep.
Is there's all these meetings, these offensive game plan meetings, and like Freeze isn't typically there, and then he calls plays on Saturday. So does it help if Derek, assuming it's Derek Nix or Ken Austin, whoever's in those meetings is calling plays? It can't hurt.
Right.
You got to think it can't hurt. But does it make me feel different? Yes, I feel slightly better.
Yeah. Not that you would change your pick, but did you feel like Auburn was going to beat Vanderbilt with Hugh Freeze as head coach?
So I thought they had a shot after Arkansas before Kentucky. Last week I said that I might pick Auburn. Now, obviously, after watching Kentucky, there's no way I'm picking that game, or there's no way I'm picking Auburn in that game. But like after Arkansas, I said yes. I would have said yes to that. But now I cannot do that.
Does Durkin over Freeze change how close you would be to picking Auburn?
I don't think so.
Not really. Okay.
Obviously, doesn't change Mercer.
Right.
I don't think it changes the Iron Bowl.
I don't think you can weigh in on that yet. I mean, you can. I'm not telling you what to do, but I mean, you're going to have 2 more
Tell
games.
me what to do, Brad Law.
No. But you'll have a couple of games to
Yeah,
look
and
at.
if you beat, obviously, if you beat Vanderbilt,
right,
the energy would be awesome.
Yeah.
So
Xavier Atkins tracking Diego Pavia. It's a heck of a matchup, by the way. When we get into that matchup this week, that's a huge, like that. I can't wait to watch 17 against 2.
Yeah, and like I would argue that one doesn't matter as much in the sense of like I think Auburn's defense is going to be fine.
Yeah.
It's can you score?
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
they were able to do that. They were able to limit him last year, but you scored 7
No,
points.
you're right. No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I think it's gonna be a similar game. I think it's gonna be a similar game, honestly.
That's true. That's true. Like you gotta show you can get to double digits again offensively.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about can Auburn get to 24? Now I'm like, can you score 3 touchdowns? Like, can you score 3 times?
I mean, they ran like 6 plays on the other side of the 50 outside of the drive set up by the interception.
Yeah. Does Auburn get shut out if Elijah Melendez doesn't intercept that? Yeah, they don't score.
Totally they get shut out.
They don't score. Does Auburn score more points if Jackson plays the whole game?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know.
I have no clue.
If the line gets beat as bad as the line got beat consistently.
Yeah, I mean, at least Ashton will move. Jackson's just going to like get hit.
Well, that's why Ashton came back in for the last drive.
I didn't love that, but I get it. I didn't love that. Just like if you're going to pull the quarterback, pull him, but whatever. I mean, we're
it didn't matter
at that point. That's not like that's such a minor part of all of this.
Yeah.
Quarterback management at this point is like, okay, yeah, we know that's not not ideal.
That's cleaning the windows when there's a hole in the roof at that point.
That's right.
Can I make another point? I kind of feel like I don't know if this is vanity or what, but I need to kind of throw this out here.
Yeah, but real quick, you got a sweat going on?
No, it's a sweat. It's a full-on sweater.
Gosh, you're so dapper today.
It's opening night for basketball. We got basketball tonight over at Neville Arena.
So you won't go home and change like you just got dressed for it this morning after you ran your 5 miles?
I didn't run this morning, and I don't have time to change today. The boy's getting braces.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my 12-year-old's getting braces today.
Oh my goodness, that first night is so painful.
See, I don't remember it being, but I wore braces for over 2 years. All right, I had to wear mine longer than normal. Ooh, look at me! I wore my braces a long time.
Ooh, you had the braces for a long time. Look at your beautiful teeth now.
But yeah, everybody made it out to be this awful, agonizing thing, and I didn't think it was that bad. I waited on the pain to come, and it just didn't.
Yeah, I had to get braces 2 different times.
Well, you had them twice.
Look at me! I had braces twice.
Not once, but twice.
But I remember my mom had to go do something, so it was just me and my dad, and like I could tell my dad didn't know what to do because I was like in so much pain.
Wow.
Yeah, he just kept giving me Tylenol, and I'm like, yeah, it took it 30 minutes. It goes like, take more.
Shovel it in like a coal fire.
That's right. It's not going to hurt you. Yeah. Well, no, that first. I hope his first night is okay.
He told me last night he's gonna anticipate the worst pain he's ever felt. He said he was going to treat it like football practice. He was going to imagine it was going to be awful, so that anything short of that feels like a break.
So wise.
Smart. Thought that was pretty smart. So yeah.
Anyway, it's crazy. Which I would expect nothing less from your offspring.
So that's today. Plus, I've got to get Hugh Freeze's name out of all of the football elements like that we have that run on the network.
Dude, I was thinking about that yesterday. I'm like, oh my goodness, because back when I was doing the Auburn Network stuff, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'd have to go up there on a Sunday and fix all that. That's such a pain.
Yeah.
Are y'all gonna get Durkin to come in and voice stuff?
No, we won't do that. No, but now he is doing he's on Tiger Talk tonight, and John Cohen's on Tiger Talk. So we're switching some stuff around, but yeah, at least not yet. Now, if he becomes the full-time coach, then we'll do that in the off season.
Of course. Of course.
But
you don't have to do that for just a few weeks.
Correct.
All the imaging. Yeah.
That's correct. And it's a road football. So anyway, all that to say, no, I came dressed in the basketball attire.
You look great.
Thank you. You look great too.
I just got back from the gym. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, excuse me. Oh, look at me. I care about my health.
Ooh. Got to take better care of myself.
So the point that I was going to make, all right, point that I was going to make, I will forever be an optimistic Auburn fan. And I don't separate the head coach from the team. The head coach is a part of the team. The head coach is the leader of the team.
Yeah.
And so if I am pro Auburn, I am pro the head coach of the Auburn Tigers. Okay. Now, whether that's Hugh Freeze, whether that's Brian Harsin until Halloween of 2022, I just don't separate them. And after the fact, we can talk about stuff that we didn't like or this, that, or the other, because he's not the head coach anymore. And I know a lot of people do that, and a lot of people, well, I knew from this time, or I was never a fan of blah, blah, blah. That's great. That's great. I'm not telling anybody how they should or shouldn't, do that on their own. I just don't separate the two. So when I talk about a team or a coach or whatever, they're one and the same to me. So you know what I am right now? I'm a DJ Durkin guy right now.
Yeah.
I'm a huge DJ Durkin guy because he's the head coach of my alma mater's football team. So I want DJ Durkin's team to go 3-0 the rest of the way.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
That's it. There is no other well, you're for this guy or against this guy or this, that, or the other.
I mean, you see it with quarterbacks all the time too,
Correct.
right? Like, oh, you just you want Ashton to do well because you don't like Jackson. Right. I'm like, no, I want Ashton to do well because he's Auburn's starter now.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you separate the two, that's fine. That's how you approach it, but understand that not everybody approaches it that way.
Yep. So, I was up in Birmingham for an event Saturday before the Kentucky game, and I got asked by a lot of folks like, hey, does part of you wish we would lose so they'd move on for free? So I'm like, no, I don't want to lose to Kentucky. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
No, I love Auburn. No, I don't want to lose to anybody.
Yep.
If that happens, I hope leadership makes the changes that makes the program better.
Right.
But no, I'm not going to root for anyone to fail at Auburn. Absolutely not.
No, and I don't yield any game. No matter how bad it looks, no matter what the odds are, no matter any of the other. I'm not going to yield a game for any reason before they play the game. Give me a chance.
Yep. So, programming note, we will still. Are you able to do Friday at 10?
Oh yeah,
you're able to do Friday at 10.
Yeah, because I won't leave for Nashville until after the show. Perfect. Friday.
So be sure to tune in for that, and of course, Lou Holtz is going to join us
on Friday.
At 10:00 live.
Maybe
if you want him to answer any questions on that, you need to be live for that.
Yep.
I'm sure there'll be some questions on, would you consider the head coaching job? Are you surprised that it's open?
Yeah.
Where does Lou rank Auburn amongst the open positions? Yeah. I think these are all things that we want the college football legend to address.
So those are all things that he needs to be ready to tackle Friday.
Yeah.
Got it. I think he'll have plenty of time to prepare for that, and should give you
in front of the mirror, just kind of
with a squeegee, and we'll have some good stuff prepared for Friday.
That does it for today's show.
Thanks everybody for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. I don't know what the number's up to. We're getting close to a big benchmark, so go ahead and subscribe and get notified anytime there's a brand new Village Vice. Remember, until next time, everyone has vices. Yes, you do. Make sure Village Vice is one of yours.